Oh, hello there! I was just getting ready to turn on CULZ Fun Facts Episode 8, Possession, and watch that. Hope you guys are getting ready. You got your snacks? I got mine right here. So yeah, this episode's gonna be the first episode of our double feature weekend. Pretty excited. It should be pretty good. So, let's tune in and see what's going on. Let me just bring that up here for you guys. There we go. Hello everyone, to CULZ Fun Facts Episode 8. Today we are talking about possessions. This topic was brought to us by Naz Stoltz. Thank you, Naz, for your topic. So possessions. We all have possessions. See these? This phone here is my possession, and the computer screen here, and well, this camera is all my possessions. Yeah, it's a pretty vague topic, possessions. Not very supernatural. Oh, hold on one second. Let's see here. Do not talk about possessions. Talk about demonic possessions, not things you own. Okay. Got another text there too. So I guess we'll start that again. We're not talking about possessions that you own. No, we're talking about a demon or a spirit getting inside of you and taking control of your body for a amount of time. It can be short, can be long, can be drawn out, can be in waves. There's actually two kinds of possession. The first being demonic possession, which is, we talked in an earlier video about demonic spirits. I believe that was episode 2 that we talked about that in. And demonic spirits can take control of your body, like the devil and any of his lesser demons. And the devil, Satan, and his lesser demons are all actually fallen angels. So if you've ever seen the movie, gosh, what is it called? Well, there was a movie recently where angels started coming from heaven and taking control of people to wipe out the human race. That's kind of where they get that idea that angels can possess you and stuff. But the second type of possession is spiritual possession, which you can find in tons of different religions around the world. Same with demonic possession, but it's a little bit more a idea rather than an actual set idea, I guess. Yeah, but spiritual possession is where God or an animal or an angel or an extraterrestrial or any sort of supernatural or extraterrestrial being take control of either an individual or an object. And if it's in an object, it will give it either different sort of powers, or it will allow you to speak to that object, or it'll move. So that's kind of a weird one, spiritual possession. I think today we will focus mostly on demonic possession, because that's the one that really everybody knows about, exorcisms and stuff from churches, all that sorts of stuff. So first off, with possessions, demonic possessions, is there are certain characteristics that you see continually through each different one that we've seen. Um, I have a little list here just because there's a lot of them. So let me read off them, and I'll give you a little example of what I mean, or I'll explain each different one that I tell you. So first off, there's people will have knowledge of erased memories, which is like kind of like with sorry, I got tongue tied with repression. When people repress thoughts, you go to a psychiatrist and they might be able to pull out those repressed thoughts. Well, this is the act of just finding those repressed thoughts, or even repressed personalities, which I'm not quite sure on what that means exactly. I'm guessing it means that you would either repress your current personality, or you would find one that is not yours, a personality of somebody else. The next one, convulsions. This is where medical diagnoses believe that it's like seizures and things like that, where you just go into violent convulsions. They believe that medical doctors believe that it's probably, if you see that in it, it's probably seizures. And I believe within the churches and stuff with Christianity, they believe that convulsions are also a part of possession. You just go into violent convulsions and seizures and stuff like that. The next one, fainting as if you were dying almost. It just either can be quick or different episodes of it in the same session. You just kind of drop out and they think you either died, and if this follows seizures and stuff and convulsions, that can be pretty devastating to watch somebody do that. It looks like they've had a stroke and died, or a seizure and died from it. The next one, which is really seen in a lot of movies and stuff, especially lately when they've done a lot of movies about exorcisms and possessions and stuff like that, where the possessee, the victim of the possession, will suddenly have a knowledge of foreign languages, that countries they've never been to, things they've never heard in their life, they've never researched these languages. It's just a sudden knowledge of these languages. For instance, you could be an English-speaking person and then you suddenly are speaking Russian. And I don't know if any of you know, but Russian is not, they don't go by the, I think it's, well, our alphabet. They don't go by our alphabet. They have their own alphabet. So the words and letters that they speak are not even close to English whatsoever. Or, any sort of person. You could be Greek and suddenly start speaking German. Never been to Germany, never learned German in your life. That would be extremely difficult for French if you were French and you just suddenly started speaking another language, because the French supposedly do not like to learn other languages. It's not proper to learn other languages. But let's go on to the next one. Vocal changes. I think way back in the first Exorcism movie, she starts speaking in a deeper, more demonic voice. You see that a lot in exorcism and possession movies. I'm really hitting on the topic of movies and stuff because that's really where a lot of people get their knowledge of possession and exorcisms and stuff, which can lead you to wrong outcomes, and it's a lot different than what you see in the movies. The next one, people's facial structure could change. Jawlines, cheekbones, eyes, things like that. You see that in a lot in movies as well. The next one down, sometimes you'll see them just get sudden scratches and bites on their arm. They'll just start bleeding for no reason. And in the most recent movie I've seen, I think it was, gosh, I am horrible with movie titles today. But she's laying on a hospital bed, and she just suddenly you start seeing scratches forming on her arms and stuff. That's an outside force, a demonic force, scratching and biting at the victim to cause them pain. And we spoke in a previous episode, episode 2, demonic spirits, that the devil, demons in general, they want to hurt us. And if they can take our mind and our body and use it, and then at the same time hurt us while we are unable to control anything, that's far beyond enjoyment for them. But yeah, the next one on here, you see a lot. I think probably in every single possession movie, the victim just suddenly has supernatural strength. And with medicine and stuff, when they look at that, they see it as with seizures and stuff. When people have seizures, they can just hit stuff way harder than normal. I heard that people would be even able to break bones in their own bodies without even like touching themselves. So that just their muscles flex so hard that it'll crack bones and stuff. And you have to hold those people down so they don't hurt themselves like that. And but yeah, superhuman strength. It's pretty known. Everybody knows superhuman strength. When you have a demon inside of you, demons are super strong. They have infinite power. So the next one on here, which is going to bring me to my last note on what you see during a possession, is unknown knowledge. When I speak of unknown knowledge, I'm talking about when you see in movies where the victim is suddenly able to tell people their secrets and stuff like that. Things they've hidden from people that they don't tell people. Like maybe a father killed their son and they're suddenly telling them that. And if that's in a room with other priests and stuff, that's pretty devastating to the exorcist or whoever's in the room to hear that somebody in the room might have killed somebody or done something or cheated on somebody or raped somebody. And you see that in a lot of movies now, where they just suddenly know knowledge of the people in the room, or any knowledge for that fact. They could suddenly know future knowledge, things that are going to happen. They could predict the future, that something terrible is going to happen to a person, setting their mind off during an exorcist, that, gosh, after this exorcist, I might get hit by a car on my way out of this building. And that really gives the demon power to over everyone in the room, really. They suddenly fear that this demon might know when they'll die and tell them, and they'll have to live with that knowledge. But when I was talking about spiritual possession, where it's in many other religions, it's the same with demonic possession. Other religions have a kind of setup for exorcisms and knowledge about demonic possessions, but they vary a lot between each one. But most people know about the Christian, Catholic, Roman ideal of possession, mainly because in the Middle Ages, in the I wrote it down here, it's kind of a weird name, the Ritual Romanum, which is a book that specifically talks about possession from the Middle Ages. That's where a lot of our knowledge of it, the original knowledge of demonic possessions and exorcisms and stuff like that, come from. And for a priest or a bishop or a pastor to decide if you are demonically possessed, there's 4 symptoms that you have to show. I don't know if you have to show all 4. It'd be pretty scary to show all 4, but you may only have to show one of these symptoms. But they are superhuman strength, speaking in tongues. Now, I didn't really talk about tongues exactly. I talked about languages. You speak other languages. But tongues is speech that is not speech. It's when you speak it, you're speaking as if you're talking normally. You speak in syllables and stuff that you would normally hear in sounds that you normally hear in language, but it's just gibberish. It doesn't mean anything, but it sounds like language. That's what tongues is. There's actually people will learn it. I'm not really sure why. It's a part of, I believe it said it was the like a sect of Christianity or something that learns these how to speak tongues and what it means and stuff. The next one on here is hidden or distant knowledge. We talked about that, being able to predict the future or knowing knowledge that you should not know at all. Nobody's ever told you any of this knowledge. You've never read this knowledge. You've never heard this knowledge. You suddenly just know it. And then the next one, which you see in some movie about demons or the devil or anything, where they just cannot look at the cross or any holy objects. They can't look at the figure of Jesus or the Holy Bible or anything like that. And at the same time, they will just scream inane things about whoever you worship. But yeah, the ritual Romanium. That's where we got our original knowledge mostly from, was that. And like I was saying before, it's what everybody knows is mostly from Christianity and Catholics and stuff like that. And that's why I'm telling you guys mostly that, is because that's where you're getting your knowledge from. And possession is a devastating thing. It's just the main idea of it is the devil or a demon takes your body and you no longer have control, and you never wished to lose control to this. And while you are doing it, you may not know what you're doing, and afterwards you may not know what you have done. And this makes you morally trying to think of the word. You're not held accountable for what you've done. But if you did something horrible, like you murdered somebody while you were under the possession of a demon or the devil, even if you're morally not held for those crimes, you still committed those crimes, and you may not know that you've done it. So you have to live with that idea that you killed somebody, and it could be somebody that you loved. But yeah, possession is a crazy thing. If you ever have a chance to watch a video of an actual exorcism going on, I recommend that you do. A real one. Not one that you've seen in a movie or on a TV show or something. Watch like a real exorcism, because it is insane what you see. And the one I watched, I could not believe that this person, a sane person, would just suddenly act like that. That they would do the things and yell the things and act the way they did in it. But yeah, if you want to learn more about demonic spirits and how to fight them, watch episode 2, Demonic Spirits. I talk a lot about how to fight demonic spirits, and that will help you keep yourself safe from being possessed. And if you feel suddenly just depressed and your world's come crashing down and you're just hit with sudden uh, problems and your whole life's just going to hell, you should seek out a paranormal group. The reason I say that is I wouldn't go straight to a church because most churches will dismiss it. What I'm talking about is oppression, demonic oppression, or diabolic oppression. And that's when there's a demon that's harming you not physically but mentally, and it's in your life. But yeah, I say don't go to a church because they will dismiss it. Come to a paranormal research group like us, or if you have one near in your local area, speak to them because they will do the research and they will find out and help you with what's going on. And it will tend to give you, even if it's not a demonic possession or oppression, it will give you a bit more peace of mind that it's not that. And it's just how things are. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I really enjoyed looking it up. There's a lot more on it, so if you want to look up more on possession, just type in possession or go to your local library. Thank you, Naz, for your topic. See you all next time for CULZ Fun Facts. I would have never known. Wow. How did you like that? Yeah, that was pretty good, huh? Did you guys enjoy that? I thought that was a pretty good episode. To be honest. Ship's pretty good too. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that episode of CULZ Fun Facts. Good stuff. So yeah, next week, or no, not next week. Sorry, tomorrow. Tomorrow is episode 2 of our double feature weekend, and I hope you guys tune in. See you then.